going on, YouTube? Look at that weird ass camera angle we've got over here. That's a strange old camera angle. Setting up for the stream was pretty chaotic today. I actually forgot that I was streaming tonight and was just sort of chilling out, getting on with my day, and the counter was at 20 seconds and I had forgotten that I didn't sharpen any tungstens today. So I am heading over to grind some tungstens. Today, or over the weekend, I rearranged a couple of parts of my shop around, and everything is utter chaos right now. So welcome to the wonderful world of ADHD. Ultimately, the shop will be much better for it. I'm going to sharpen 2 tungstens and see if we can get through the whole night, this whole catch can build on 2 tungstens. So that is 1 2% lanthanated and 1 trimix tungsten. I do have a one of these. Oh, where are you guys? Up here. Got one of these blue. I don't actually know what these tungstens are. They were given to me from Rob at Streamline Fabrication. I've got one of these that I haven't used yet. So we do technically have 3 tungsten. I will endeavour to find out what they are. They are... No, I can't even guess where they're from. So I changed the lighting around a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm super fond of it. I only got to test it during the daytime when light was coming through, when there was a little bit of natural light. It is a fraction more dynamic than the overhead light. I've moved the whole welding bay around. One for the stream to try and get more distance between the welder and the computer, and 2 for the sizing of my shop. I've made the whole welding area narrower. You see this cabinet is really close to me now, whereas it used to be quite far away. Behind that I'm able to put some linishes and drill press and stuff that I did have on the wall behind me here. The CNC machine has been moved over, and I've built an entire folding preparation station over there in the corner, and all the storage that was behind me is now along my far wall. Definitely a better use of the space, I think. Time will tell. But I notoriously rearrange my shop every 3 months, so, or I am notorious for. I actually haven't tested my welder since I moved it. So we're about to find out what's going on there. Need like a GoPro on my head or something. So I've just dropped the argon line from the bottle and trying to find a way to reach it to plug it back into the back of the machine. I think I got it. Did I mention the chaos before I started the stream? Okay, we've got argon line connected. We've got, just going to set the flow rate to 7 litres a minute. There, I can hear we've got audio, so I think the stream's going pretty well. What can I show you? So, see in that bottom camera there, this pole holds the mezzanine up, and that is, there's that pole there, and you can see right where my finger is there, the second pole. That is what's making it difficult to figure out how to arrange this shop. Sort of gives me real limited space to put things because I've got to try and work around the pole. The way that I had it before, I was sort of backing into the pole when I was sitting down. So today we've got R34. This is the first time making a R34 catch can with a recirc feature. So there I have a tube on the inside of the breather filter or the outlet cradle that will go through to a -12 fitting. So I still utilize the labyrinth baffle on the inlet of the tank, so which causes the blow-by to go through a maze of 3 different direction changes. And then there is a splash guard that makes the blow-by go sort of in and under and through, and then it disperses through some E85 foam out through that tube to the intake manifold on R34 GTT. This is for the 2-wheel drive version. First time doing one of these because the previous inlet baffle design used this whole wedge shape, and it did all its direction changes down the front of the can here. So I had to redesign this entire section to be able to run this tube through. It was actually rather technical because of all the angles here, and it ended up making this really weird looking maze. So I make them separately and then weld them into the tanks. So this has a very unique labyrinth baffle, which you can see some of it going on there in that little side camera. But we got it, and it's going to be awesome. And then on there I have a blanking plate that will blank off that and seal the catch can with a rubber gasket that I laser cut on my CO2 laser. But enough about that, let's get into some welding. So nothing really technically has changed on the stream setup. The last stream that I ran, I had an internet failure that caused the stream to shut down and wasn't able to restart, unfortunately. Really wasn't a technical issue that I could solve, so there's been no major changes. I am working on getting a new computer case that I can run a water cooler in, because I'm getting some CPU overheating. On my last stream I snapped my stool and I just Sikaflexed all the cracks up and I'm dealing with a wobbly stool, but we will persevere. It feels very weird to be sitting in this location here. Just give this a quick wipe down. I did wipe it down a couple of hours ago when I tacked it up. And I'm gonna start off by welding that filter cradle in while the tank is cold. Just prop him up there, get him nice and flat, get him in the center. I have this lav on as well that I put in my pocket. Just getting that caught up in my chair. I put this, I'm just trying to get it away from the edge. I put this new subscriber window up in the corner. It should be on all of my scenes as we scroll through them. That will update every time somebody subscribes to my YouTube channel, which is pretty cool. Trying to update things as I go, figure out what I need and how this whole streaming situation works. And we'll just try and balance out this light for you. I should just call these Adam's troubleshooting streams instead of, and occasionally we do some welding. That'd probably be a more accurate description of what goes on here. So hopefully that will balance out, one, the table, and two, the shadows on me. That doesn't look too bad. Cool, so you get a bit of light on this side now, you can see what's going on. So we've got some 5356 1.6mm filler rod. This camera's in a derpy spot, but well, it's not too bad. I thought this no, I can't even show you because the camera has frozen. Let's see if we can get him back. We can get him back, and let me just change the exposure there and there. Hopefully the autofocus will come on. Maybe. Let me see if I can manual focus that. Manual focus, turn on. See if we can. There, you can at least read the screen. Okay, okay, and save. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to weld this filter cradle with a pulse setting. So for me it's setting number 4, and it is a 1% on time. 1 second on time with a 60%. Gosh, that is a 1 second pulse with a 60% on time, 120 Hertz, -28 on the AC balance, and we are running square wave setting. So I'm going to go around and just tack up these 4 corners. I'm actually going to put a tack on in between these existing tacks on this side here and across the back, just to stop any warping, and then go ahead and weld all the way around. You guys are going to be able to see from up here. Zoom in a little bit. This is basically going to rotate like that, so you should be able to see the whole thing. Put your little welding helmet on, and let's get into it. Alright, so some cameras froze by the looks of it. I don't know. We can get him back. Alright, so we've just whizzed around there on a pulse setting. Turned out not too bad. Where this tube goes through here, it is a bit of a sketchy weld. It's super thin, but all in all, we got a nice clean weld going around there. So we'll grab settings and we'll change this back to profile 1. which is 120 hertz square wave, negative 28 on the AC balance at 105 amps, max amps there. Everything looks good, so I'm just going to flick. This is a fun catch can to weld. I'm going to start in this front corner here. Let's go to the looking window. So I'm going to start down here and work my way around. I'm going to go up these two sides and then do the top of the tank. And I do have the this is the washer bottle to do as well, so I will flick between them as this part starts to get hot. So I'm going to weld across here, so you're going to be able to see that on the welding camera. Let's get you in focus. We'll just put your welding helmet on, and I'll put you in, actually I'll let you see that here. Well, annoyingly, I ran out of filler rod 2 dabs before the end there, so I had to restart just as I got to the end there, unfortunately. G'day Chris, how you doing tonight? Alright, so I'm going to be up here now. I'm just going to go across this top section. This is the weld that I like the least on this because it is, where can you guys see? If I get you over here, it is greater than 90 degrees on this angle. It's like 115 or something. And it doesn't give me as wide of a bead as I would ordinarily like, but you know, we'll just go slow and thicken him up as we travel along. So you guys will be able to see. I'll pop your welding helmet on there. Yeah, I'm having an awesome day, Chris. It's been utter chaos, but happy to be here. Happy to have gotten to the end of the day. And everything back there can wait until tomorrow morning now, which is awesome. Alright, that turned out really good. So really, it's really just a matter of setting the width right at the start of that weld and just carrying the heat through. Nice one to do early on in the part. It's actually have a bit more confidence feeding the heat in. But got the one that I like the least out of the way, and I'm happy with it, so that's all good things. I was thinking that I would like to do this thin section before the part gets too hot as well, but being mindful of the stop starts means I'll have to start all the way down here to rock up where I want to be. So I'll do that, but I'll do that with a chill block, even though it's probably a bit early to run a chill block. I'm trying to keep heat out for the future. Chris, have you welded any soccer balls yet? You're going to be able to see me weld back here, so just focus you. Let's try and get you a bit closer. No, we ended up exactly where we started. Let me focus you. We'll put your welding helmet on, and let's get it. The welding camera dropped out there. It often drops out when I bring it close to the welding action, which is a whole thing in itself that I have a few ideas on how to resolve. So I almost forgot which direction I was heading in. We are heading this way. And can I, you can see it there. Let's see if we get a better view. No. Here. Look at that, that's a bloody nice weld right there. Really nice. Let's see, I've got this scuff here where I put this piece of pipe through. I cut it off with a hacksaw and ended up scuffing against the part, which is not a big deal since this part is going to be powder coated, but I kind of wish I put a bit of tape across there. Usually I mark them and cut them off on the cut-off saw, on the drop saw, but it's such a tight fit that and such a short length that I couldn't pull it back out again. Just put your welding helmet on there. Chris, not yet. Yeah, polish it before or after. Or polish it before. I reckon it would be super cool to actually like heat treat some of the, or every other panel, or the panels that would be black ordinarily. If you can get them to a nice straw finish or even a purple finish and then weld them, or probably more of a blue finish, but yeah, that'd look freaking cool. But whatever you decide on, even a mix of polished and brushed, I think would be bloody cool as well. But super keen to see it when you've done one. Really exciting project. So welding across the front here, I forgot if I got you in focus or not. Alright, and let's just refocus this camera. So I moved this welding station around, and now this camera arm is further away, and I can't get that overhead shot that I was able to get on previous videos, or live streams rather. So this is the best angle I can get you right now. I may actually be able to do this. Watch me unplug everything. No, it really makes no difference. Just turned it into crotch cam. So let's focus you up there, put your welding helmet on. I'm going to run up this final seam here. on the top. It does put a stop-start somewhere I don't want it, but it was inevitable on the way that I did this. But let's dive in. Alright, so now we're going to move down the side. Get some interesting parts on this catch can that I don't have to deal with, I guess, that I normally do on other tanks. And that is the baffle acting as a heatsink. Because I've got folds around the top of the tank here, this is the only weld, the one that I'm about to do, that comes anywhere near the internal baffling. And with this baffle redesigned, I actually put a 5mm gap in there so it's not pressed up hard against the seam, to try and avoid it being a heatsink for me. So we'll see, we're about to see at least, if that actually helps me or not. I'm still precariously balanced on this chair that I snapped the base on the other day. Let me put you... So it did create a unique problem. The baffle, at least the part that touches the side of the tank, how can I show you this? So where it touches the side of the tank here, the plate comes down here and then it sort of scoots away from the edge of the tank. So you can see right here, can you see that? You see right there where the heatsink stopped pulling the heat away, and then I blew out in the catch can. Not a pitfall that I've ever had before. The old design went all the way to the tip down the bottom there. So this is my first one with this new design, so really need to be mindful in the future. But by the time I weld the fitting on there and it gets powder coated, this will actually get lapped by the fitting weld, so not too concerned, but just something I need to make a mental note of with this new design. Just going to use chill blocks now. Footage from this camera looks a little bit grainy tonight. I must have a setting changed. I did set the stream up in a massive hurry tonight. We'll have a sauce of that tomorrow. Let's put your welding helmet on and get into that weld. Alright, that went pretty nicely down there. You can see, really good weld. I mean, it's a straight line, you can't really go wrong. Did have a little bit of an issue with a blowout there, and managed to recover okay. It was just a fitment issue, no big deal. It's a little bit cooler here in Brisbane today, so I'm really shocked that this part's not heating up more. It's actually just really comfortable welding weather right now. I do have a fan on behind me, which is bloody lovely. Let's talk about this. I've removed the drain plug on these new design tanks. It used to be right in the corner here, which gave pretty good heat soak because of this side seam, the one we just did, once it was welded. Really close to the bottom. I couldn't put the drain plug on the direct bottom on this tank because of the way it fits to the vehicle. So we've got this nice thin little piece here. Doesn't matter if I blow it out because we're going to put a fitting over that hole, but it does give me a nice little challenge. Sort of two ways to think about it. I can either get a nice weld across here, concerning myself with the bottom edge rather than the top edge and let that blow out, or I can try and keep that edge nice and clean, and it's actually going to change the profile of the weld. So I don't know what I'm going to do before I start doing it. It's sort of my rule for life, but let's find out what I do. I'm as curious as you are. Just pop your welding helmet on. I'll give you a really only gave me one option, as we all knew it would, which was to fusion weld it as I went past. Really just focused on not protruding along the bottom there, or bulking out the weld along the bottom. By the time that fitting weld's on, it'll be a nice, good looking weld around there. Really mindful, you can see just past the weld there. I was really mindful to try and match the width of before and after. Sometimes can be a tough thing to do, but it's close enough to be able to reference back here while I was welding. Yeah, looks good. I got one tiny little seam to go on this one, and I think I'm just going to power it out. I'm not going to wait for this to cool down. I'm picking it up with this TIG finger because these gloves that I have polyester in them. Only a little bit of polyester, but polyester in them, and it does have a tendency to melt onto my parts, which sucks, but my regular gloves aren't in production at the moment, so this is the best option I've got for Kevlar gloves. I'm going to come across up here, so you're every time I see up on the screen there, I'm like eagerly waiting for somebody to subscribe to my channel to see if that new subscriber thing up in the corner there actually works. Hint, hint. Alright, let's get you into a welding window. Alright, so we did get a really nice weld around that, actually around that entire catch can. I'm very happy with that. It's always not nerve-wracking, but I'm always mindful when I weld a can like this. I say that because this can is pre-sold. Somebody owns it already, even though I haven't built it yet. So I actually know, or I actually have a person that I know this is going to, rather than just building it with the hope of selling it after it's been built. And it actually it puts a perceived pressure on me when I think of it that way. So I'm actually really happy with how this one's come out. We'll have a better look at it at the end here, but we'll get stuck into the little washer bottle catch can. It's a nice easy one with loads of straight edges. Still relatively new product. I don't think I've sold more than 50 or 60 of these, so still really getting the hang of welding them, and they have had 2 major revisions in their short little life so far. Alright, so this little guy is just a hollow tank. There's no baffling in this. It's just a washer bottle since this the main catch can here goes in place of where the washer bottle would ordinarily sit. So this is just like a little token to be able to replace that part. What I'm going to do, I have one little fitment. Let me see if I can focus you there. So right there, you can see it's open a little bit, and that's just a folding issue there. Just going to give that a light tap to close that up. And just in this back corner here, I've got the same sort of situation, which will probably pull up all right when I tack it, but we'll see. And we've got another little problem down the bottom here. Gosh, where can I show you? Down the bottom here, it's just a tiny little bit open there. So this is only 3 parts. So is actually the big tank on this one, but just the way it fits up can be a little tricky because of the angles. So where am I going to start? I want to start down the bottom here. So this was the first product I ever made to try and minimize welding. This was designed in 2020 at the peak of when I was super busy with the retail boom, which is the thought process behind having less welding. But it actually has the most welding in it because it's a dual catch can and I joined them together. So we're going to buzz across here and then I'll bring you back and we'll reposition. Just pop your welding helmet on and let you see the machine settings. Alright, that came up really nice, especially for the first weld on a cold tank. Just kept it nice and slow, make sure I got the heat in there. Beautiful little weld. So we'll roll across to the top and hopefully, yes, my little prop is in there, my little heat block that's, I've got some 30mm heat sinks and some 25mm or 20mm, 25mm heat sinks. 25 is about level on this guy. So I want to roll through this without using a chill block on the top. So you guys get to keep watching. So I'm going to roll through here, I'm going to turn and turn. You're going to see that the whole time. Let's just make sure you're focused and pop your welding helmet on. Actually, before I do, I run these streams with the viewer count turned off, so I never know how many people or who's watching the stream, and unless you pop into the chat. And I know this is probably a weird time to mention it, but if you're in the stream watching, pop into the chat. It's the only way I know people are here, and it's actually really motivating when the chat rolls up for me. So anybody that might be here now, if you are, you're a bloody legend. Yeah, just say g'day in the chat. I've worked by myself for 12 years, so I'm bloody good at just talking to myself, and I make YouTube videos, which is 90%, 100% actually, talking to yourself. Yeah, let's roll into this world. I'll let you see me on this one. All right, that camera froze, which is awesome. Look at me go there. Let's see if I can bring that camera back. Always around the hour 10, hour 15 minute mark, the stream starts to have some problems. It's still running, but I can't get it to come back. Bear with me one sec. No stress, Chris. That wasn't really aimed at you, but you're a bloody legend, man. I appreciate you being here all the time. You don't have to be active in the chat the whole time. I'm just going to see if I can restart that camera. So I often look at the analytics on the stream. Hopefully this camera comes back. Yes, it does. Yeah, check out the analytics of the stream after I stream, and then a few days later, I do that while I watch the stream back because I like to sort of try and figure out, I am trying to figure out how to do this better. It's a really nice weld on top of that catch can there, or washer bottle. And the other night, I only mentioned it because the other night there were 10 people that rolled through the stream, and Chris, it was just you and I in the chat. I find that, one, I find that super awesome, but two, I'll long-wind it because that's what I do. Obviously, YouTube's a video watching platform primarily, not a stream watching platform. So I get that people don't come here to have a conversation often, but it's really cool that that this whole situation even exists. That I can push go on my computer and have a conversation in real time. Yeah, it's difficult. I guess it's difficult to try. I guess, what am I trying to say? I don't know how to encourage engagement, and I find it difficult because of the welding situation where I get pulled away from being able to engage. So yeah, anyway, I guess I was just verbalizing that to try and encourage or figure out. But yeah, I purposely don't have how many people are watching on the screen because it makes me super nervous. But if you pop in the chat, I know you're a real person, and I'd bloody love to say g'day. Put your welding helmet on, and we'll get this scene done. Yeah, I actually think you're dead right, Chris. I think for me as well, when I check out streams, I watch it on my phone as well, and it is impossible or very difficult to partake in the chat. Especially on big streamers where the chat just flies by so fast. It's really hard to do that. I guess that's where the comment section is really good as well, which exists after the video's gone live. But yeah, appreciate that perspective, man. It's definitely a valid point. All right, so I'm going to roll. You're going to miss this because I've put this heatsink on, but I'm going to roll from this back corner here, around here, and around to the front here, and then we'll reposition, and by reposition we're going to move that heatsink, but you should be able to see most of that as we go. Just pop your welding helmet on and let's get into it. Alright, let's get you in this view. So, running around this tank really nicely. This is actually the bottom of the tank, but not that it makes a difference. So can you see there, slightly opened up a little bit with the heat. So I'm just going to give that a little tap with this super hot brass block. It's done its job well as a heatsink. So I really want to run a chill block on this. So it's going to have to be like this, and you guys aren't going to see anything. But you get to watch the machine work while I do this weld. So I almost wasn't going to run that chill block, and I'm so glad that I did. I was going to sacrifice it so you guys would see, but just at this sort of 15 mil mark here, it started to blow out, and I don't think I would have recovered without a chill block. So you guys didn't get to see. I apologize for that, but it was totally worth it for the end result. So what do we got? We got one more weld to go up the back here, which gets you guys down here, crotch cam, and put this in position. So we're going to buzz a long here, which you guys can pretty much see there. Still getting some grainy footage. Actually getting a really good stream tonight with very few dropouts or technical difficulties. And I'm probably speaking too soon, but I feel like every stream the production is definitely getting better. I'm learning more and more as I go. I'll pop you into a welding screen. That's a really nice weld down there. Nothing like a straight line 90-degree weld, nice and simple, especially when it's a short weld like that and you don't have to sort of manipulate your wrist too much. Let me find where you guys are. I'll zoom you out. Alright, so that's bloody brilliant. So this needs a 1-inch filler cap welded on. The other part of the tank needs some fittings welded on. Before I join these two tanks together, because it actually makes it super difficult to do it after the fact to balance them. So dash 12 2 dash 10s, we'll be doing that either tomorrow or I'll do that off camera. But let's just push them together, show you guys what we ended up with. Got any more zoom? Yes. So this is what it will look like with a weld down the seam there. So this is the very first Recirc R34 GTT catch can. We'll have it finished Wednesday to go to powder coat. A little bit behind schedule on this one, but the results are bloody fantastic, so definitely worth it. But like I said at the start of the stream, had to completely redesign the baffling system to be able to incorporate the Recirc breather on this one. So there was quite a lot of work in the back end, and I couldn't use any of the pre-cut laser cut parts that I had. I had to recut this on my CNC router. But I'm going to set this aside because I want to finish off the catch can from the failed stream on Friday. Since I'm in a really good mood and having a really good time welding, we're at the hour-and-a-half mark, and let's see if I can bang this out in less than 20 minutes. So this is a R33, another Recirc catch can. Managed to get the bottom curve done. I think we got the filter cradle welded in. And then I had some catastrophic internet failure on Friday night, and I didn't finish the tank after the stream ended. I tried to figure out how to restart the stream. So I'm going to weld across here. In you come. Let's get some focus there. Put your welding helmet on and grab a welding screen. So my gas bottle has gone below a quarter of a bottle, and I don't know if every welder experiences it the same way that I do, but I can tell by smell when I'm getting to that last quarter or eighth of a bottle. I just sort of got a whiff of it then, and sure enough, I'm below a quarter. So it's a nice little way to get reminded that almost due for a bottle change. Alright, I am powering through to try and get this tank welded up. I was sort of going to see if I get it done before 7. It's 6:53 right now, but realistically it's going to be about 10 past if I keep this pace up. There's one little bit here that I'd like to just pop in as I come around the corner there. Alright. So we'll just pop a heatsink on there. Let's check out the view that you guys will get. actually, it's probably not realistic to weld a catch can like this in 20 minutes when I'm messing around with the stream, but we're going to try anyway. That's gonna come back. Yes, it is. Yeah, hour and a half on the dot. The stream is timed out again. Has reconnected without issues. I wonder if that's a setting or an internet thing. Might be a YouTube thing actually. Let's see if you're looking at this weld. So I'm welding this straight seam. There is a little bit of a gap up here, so we'll see what happens there. Let's zoom it in. Focus it up for you. Put your welding helmet on, and let's get your welding helmet right on, and let's go for it. Alright, did that, yeah, I thought that camera froze. Here, let's see if we can reactivate it. We can, bloody beautiful. So can you see that? No, you can't. Here, let's refocus. So I had that fitment issue there with the open panel, and you can see a little bit of a bubble in that weld. I had about a 400 long filler rod, and I used most of it before I got to here. I really should have grabbed a fresh one before I started, so I have a stop start right here, which you can see the etching band. Let me grab a pointer so you can see the etching band right there. With a stop start, I like to come back 10 or 15 mil and just feather out the material as I work back 2 dabs. So I go back the dab I stopped on and 1 extra, and then I go back to the original dab that I stopped on and continue the weld as if I never left it. For me, I find that to be the best way to reinstate that rhythm. You can see that the gap in the dabs isn't that different, because it sort of sets going to that second dab and then going to that first dab resets that distance for me. I know that's not a trick or anything, but it's just how I think about doing my restarts. So let's. I'm going to get a tack on. Whoop, you guys are way too close. You just back off a little bit there. So I'm going to tack just to join up these 3 panels. Tack up this corner here and weld up this angle real quick. How are we doing for time? We're at 7:01. We may get it. We might get it. If I don't forget to put your welding helmet on and put you in a welding screen. Alright, now let's get this long straight done. Should be right at this angle. So, where are you guys? Just go back here a little bit. Your screw backed off a little bit there. Let's get you there. So this is, I do this in 2 stages. I'm going to buzz this section first and then over here second. I am going to want a chill block on this, and I just want to put a couple of blocks up against my table so it doesn't rotate away from me. There is a failed tack right there which has a gap in it, so I'm curious to see what happens as I pass it. You guys are in focus. We'll get your little welding helmet on. And let's get into it. So I managed to get through there no problem. Where are you? You are over here. So just where that failed tack was there, you can see it did sort of blow out real quickly, but I managed to get it back. It's right there. All in all, you can see it's a really nice little weld there. Still on the clock, so we're trying to get this thing done in 4 more minutes. Gee whiz. Let's see if we can do it. Gosh. 4 minutes. So we're going to go across the front here. I cannot get you guys in a position to see that. See if I can back that off. Yeah, you guys will see that. Awesome. Zoom you in if I got some zoom. Put your welding helmet on. And let's go into the screen here. And that weld turned out great, considering we're powering through this catch can and not taking any time to let it cool down. Really happy with that weld. God, it looks so much better in person than it does on the screen. This camera is quite dark because zoomed in so much. But really turning up nice. We've got 1 weld left. I have 1 minute left. It just clicked over as I looked at it, which is just this end here. You guys can chill out back there, and I think we can get away with no chill block on this last little end. What do we need? You need your welding helmet on. And let's and we smashed it. So R33 recirc catch can. I think I don't remember how long that was, half hour or so. I set a challenge, then I moved the bar because it was an unreasonable time frame. But considering we welded half of it last week and finished it off today, really does change the way the heat in the catch can, especially with those first couple of welds, but turned out great. He is not the star of the show though, because we welded this R30, as I rolled across the table. this R34 GTT catch can, which turned out bloody great. I need to take some photos of this to put on my social media and wrap up the stream. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Starting to get the hang of orchestrating welding and streaming at the same time, I think. And I'm starting to get the quality of welds that I expect from myself, which is wonderful. Yeah, the stream chugged along awesome tonight. I'm really happy with the background setup that you guys don't get to see, all the technical shiz. Really makes it easier for me to stream when everything works. So far, I'm still sticking to streaming every night. I do want to change that schedule because I am seriously neglecting making YouTube videos in favor of streaming, because I'm using all my YouTube equipment for streaming. Definitely, which I brought up during the stream, I definitely want to figure out how to get more chat engagement. Chris, this is not directed at you. You are a flippin' legend. I really appreciate your support. It's definitely for the other people that roll through while I'm streaming. I'd love for you to say g'day when you come through the stream. If anybody watches this in the VOD. And just as I do that, the stream times out. It says I'm still live. Just roll on as if I'm still alive. For everybody that came along tonight, thank you so much. Your support for this streaming endeavor means the world for me, to me, and for me, actually. This is a real personal endeavor, the streaming, but I'm incorporating it with a work endeavor, and the goal here is for me to become a better welder, and through doing it publicly, make you guys, or at least encourage you guys to get out there and have a crack at, even if it's not welding, just make shit. It's bloody fun and it's bloody awesome. Hit the subscribe button. I have this new subscriber thing. Every time the stream goes live, it will show the latest subscriber. I really want to hit that 1,000 subscriber because it unlocks a whole bunch of stuff in the back end that will help me produce a better stream. If you like the video, like the video. I have 97 videos on this YouTube channel. I'd love for you to check some of them out. Chris, you're a bloody legend. Thank you for hanging out with me. I am really looking forward to you sharing that your finished welded soccer ball design with me. Everyone who watches the VOD, you rock also, and I will see you tomorrow.